Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to a One Piece video featuring your boy, Rob Lucci. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP07 here on the channel, and which I'm very excited to bring to you guys. This is one of those decks in which I didn't think I was going to do. I didn't think I would enjoy. I didn't think I'd have fun with. More so showcasing here on the channel. At locals, I tend to stay away from the decks that are oversaturated in the metagame, so like Katakuri, Rob Lucci, Sakazuki. But alas, of course, I do cover them all. I do play them all. And it be what it be. Rob Lucci is going to be one of the decks that's going to be prominent in OP07 all the way through up into OP09 that we know of so far. He gets brand new cards in OP08, which makes him continue to be a monster. But for the time being, this is a very, very strong deck in the metagame. Love him or hate him, he's here to stay. And for the day, we're going to dive into a list in which I've cooked up here what I think is pretty good. Let alone, at the end of the day, this deck can be built in a little bit of a different way than Gecko Moria. Whereas Gecko Moria has staple cards that he must play to get the engine to work. And that would be the Thriller Pirates package, such as, you know, your Piranhas, your Absalons, and all of that jazz with Sindri and Hogback. In this deck, it's much different for how it's played. It's similar with Gecko Moria and Rebecca, but it is different overall. In any case, let's dive into this list and see what we got going on here. Some of the things in which you might have noticed, we run with 10 2K counters, being 4 Khalifa and then 4 Kaku. That makes 8 on top of 2 Suru. I've seen a lot of deck lists that run between 2 to 4 Suru, and I've seen some decks that run with 1 Suru. I feel like this card is detrimental to the deck, and I think you do need to have it. The same thing with Helmeppo. Both of these cards, you must have at least a couple copies in each Rob Lucci deck. That way you have consistent removal when it comes to the time you need to play Gecko Moria on curve. Both of these have the minus effects once they hit the board. Hers being a 2, Helmeppo being a 3. Most of the time, you will have these milled off the top of your deck with your leader ability and or with Spandam. Being able to get them back from the trash with Gecko Moria allows your Rob Lucci to pop a lot of units on board. So again, having both of these in the deck is going to be a must no matter what variation of Rob Lucci you are playing. I have seen some lists that also run the card Hina, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with in Sakazuki, Gecko Moria, what have you. In this deck, she can make a home. I just feel like you don't need it. It also clogs up your deck quite a bit, being another Navy asset, and it has no counter power. And most of the time, you can pop everything on board without seeing Hina. So I decided not to use it. Again, some decks run it, some don't. I personally don't enjoy this card in Rob Lucci, therefore she's not going to be used in my deck here today. On top of that, we have access to Ice Age. This is, again, a Navy card. A lot of these decks don't run this. For whatever reason that may be, I feel like it's very, very strong in Rob Lucci as well. Although, with your leader ability, with Spandam, you will mill this occasionally. This is a very good card to have in your opening hand or be able to draw into it. I think 2 to 4 copies is ideal. You can cut this if you choose to. And I'll show you another card that's pretty optional to fill this slot if you want to play around with it, which would be Finger Gun. This is a very, very good card as well. I think it's pretty slept on, honestly. But if you think about it, if you have Stage on board, you hit somebody with a Tempest Kick, you're already killing pretty much every card in the game. Because this kills 5 costs or less. So you're killing Big Mom, you're killing Shanks, you're killing all of the big body units with a Tempest Kick and Lobby on top of Finger Gun, which is pretty strong, ideally. But this also does, it mills 2 cards from the top of your deck, and it has an on-trigger ability, which is nice, right? So when they're attacking you, you have an option of killing a 5 cost as well, so you can get rid of those pesky Borsalinos if need be. But overall, generally it's going to be A or B for me, personally. I think I opt to run the Ice Age just because it's more consistent when it comes to removal. Sometimes you need to be able to see a Tempest Kick. Sometimes you need to be able to see an Ice Age to get something popped on board with Rob Lucci. Now, at the end of the day, if you aren't seeing the correct cards, you might not get a lot of value out of Tempest Kick because you have to have 10 cards in trash or more to play the ability. There are those occasions where you have Rob Lucci, your opponent has a wide board, but you can't pop anything because you can't activate Tempest Kick due to the fact you don't have 10 cards in trash. So Ice Age does help you out in that regard as well. Especially, you've done it, I've done it, we've all done it. We've been in matches where we don't draw stage as well. So it's just something else to akin to the deck to help you out in that regard. The other hot topic here, for me personally, is going to be Kaku. We do run with Kaku here. I opt to run 2 in the deck. I feel like 2 is that sweet spot. I think 3 is too many. 4 is obviously too much. He's pretty expensive, being a 5 cost. Whereas him and Sabo are the only 5 costs that we run in this deck. So being able to play Sabo is going to be ideal. This is going to be needed in Rebecca matchups, Rob Lucci matchups, Moria, Perona, any matchups that, you know, allow your opponent to remove bodies on board. Sabo is pretty good at protecting all of your units. And in the mirror, sometimes it comes down to which Rob Lucci sees more Sabos and Gecko Morias first. So I do think this card is going to be staple in the 5 cost slot in the deck. So adding in something else that's going to, you know, fight for this spot as Kaku can be a little hit or miss for a lot of people. But he does serve a purpose here as well, being a CP9. So he does allow you to pop something of 3 costs or less as well. So those pesky Gadetsus from Enel or small blockers that you're not ready for, Ryumas, all that sort of thing. He does have a purpose here, being in Rob Lucci. There are some other cards here that we are missing, and I will show you guys those as well. I opt to run Brook. I think this is a very, very strong card in Rob Lucci and black decks entirely. It's very good into those mirror matchups when you have to remove a Sabo or another body on board, and you can't because there's a Sabo effect. Brook allows you just to trash it, which is really, really nice. Let alone, you could swap this out for Sakazuki if you're interested. I do think Sakazuki is more suited for Gecko Moria, opposed of Brook being in Rob Lucci. But, you know, that's hit or miss. This is a 7k, this is a 6k. These both have very, very valid effects. This just removes Sabo in the mirror matchups, which you guys are going to run into a lot of Rob Lucci players and or Black Yellow Luffy's at your locals. Brook allows you to deal with these pesky Sabos and any other card on board that's a 4 cost or under, which is nice. The other Brook is also going to be a mandatory staple in this deck as well. We're going to play a bunch of games today with this card and without this card. I'm going to try to get value with them. Occasionally we do, but most of the time we kind of rely on the Spandam, Rob Lucci, and Gecko Moria engine. There are occasions where you're able to play down a Helmeppo on board and pop a smaller body with Brook following, which is really, really nice. I think Brook has a lot of value in this deck, let alone Moria as well. So this is something to consider when you are building your Rob Lucci or Gecko Moria build. The first couple matches today we're going to play with Brook, or without Brook, sorry, and then with Brook. The ones without Brook are going to be subbed out for Borsalino. Both of them work. Both of them have circumstances which they benefit one another. This is really strong, again, against Rob Lucci decks where they can't pop this with Rob Lucci. They can't get rid of this with Sabo or Ryuma, any of that stuff. It's a pretty strong card in all of the black decks against black decks. It's really good. So personally, I like them both. So go ahead, you pick your poison, choose what you like to choose. If you can fit both into your list, go ahead. Let me know down in the comments and sections below. Let your other people know what you're running, help them out. You know, be a good person in the community. Either way, today we're going to start off with Brook. Or sorry, we're going to start off with Borsalino, and then we're going to finish off with Brook. The other 2 cards that we run in this deck are going to be personal preference. I personally enjoy Sabo. I think Sabo is really good into all decks in this metagame currently, but there are other cards that you can use in this slot as well to get just as much value, if not more. And that's going to be regarding Stussy, which you'll see occasionally in some decks. I personally don't enjoy her as much as I would enjoy Sabo. I think Sabo has more value. He allows you to pop 2 bodies on board, which is really, really easy to do in this deck. With Rob Lucci combinations, with Sabo combinations, you're popping a lot of bodies early, and or you have a lot of pressure in the late game as well. The other card, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with by now, you should be at least, is Isho. Isho is going to be strong against every other deck in the format, especially Bonnie, especially Gecko Moria, Rob Lucci, and Nell. any deck that relies on combo pieces or needs certain cards in hand to get off certain abilities, this is going to be really good in those matchups. Decks that love to have a bigger hand, again, Bonnie and Nell, this is going to be really, really good. This is probably not going to stick on board against, Rob Lucci or Perona or Gecko Moria generally, but if you can, it allows you to -3 to every character on board on your opponent's side of the field, which makes it easier for you to pop units for free with things like Rob Lucci, Sabo, or what have you. But overall, we're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Hopefully you guys are ready for this one. Remember to smash the like button, make sure you subscribe for future content when it comes to all things One Piece. Let's get into it. See you guys in a split second. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Rob Lucci playing into RP Law, everybody's favorite deck in the format right now. That's jokes, by the way. That was a joke. Nobody likes this deck, let's be honest. In any case, hopefully I don't get embarrassed too bad here, and we need to find Rob Lucci to be able to win in this matchup, which sometimes feels like impossible, but I'm hoping. There goes 3 Sabos in trash, because, we have control over that. In any case, in this matchup, we are going to need to see Rob Lucci to be able to come out on top. I know that's kind of crazy, but Law is able to go wide really, really fast. With cheap bodies, being able to cheat them out for free with his leader ability, yeah, for free, I know. -3 Don, woo, big deal. But overall, if we don't see Rob Lucci here, we're probably in a whole world of hurt. Especially if we go down to 2 life early, we pretty much don't have a way out. Because you gotta remember, he can just rest Rebecca, or sorry, bottom deck Rebecca for free. So, our blockers are kind of irrelevant in this matchup. 9k, sure, I guess we'll have to take this hit. Unfortunately. But, if he decides to, maybe he won't. Cool. So that gives me the impression he didn't have Penguin in hand, which is nice. It's 1 less body we have to deal with right now. And speaking of Rebecca, we have nothing else that we need to play on board right now, unfortunately. 4, 5, 6. I guess we can go 5. Mill 1. There's a Rob Lucci. Okay, so we're good. We're good for now. Guess we can get that back with Gecko Moria later if need be. Because when we play down Gecko, we'll be at 9 Dawn, so we have enough for an Ice Age if we have to use it. And we also have Stage in hand as well. I think it's probably better just to go 5 here. And then we can drop Stage and pass turn. Okay. So far, so good. Miss All Sunday. Interesting. I see a lot of lists that do run this card. I get it. It allows you to draw cards, which is something that Law generally doesn't have access to unless they see their rage use, right? I think you just go 6 here, buddy. There's no reason to try to flex 1 Dawn. They don't normally play with, Radical Beams, so. We'll give him the 2k here. That way we have Siru and trash for Gecko Moria. Yep. Kitten Killer and passes. Okay. Interesting. I think I would have swung with Kitten Killer. Because right now he's risking it all, whether or not I have Lucci or not in hand. I think not attacking with it was a mistake. Although we can't really do anything about it here. Well, actually we can. Because we can play down Rebecca to get Lucci from trash. Or, sorry, wait. We can play down Rebecca to get Spandam on board for free. We can go ahead and -3 to Miss All Sunday here. Do the thing. And we draw into a Lucci anyway, so that's pretty good. So I guess we don't have to play Rebecca here at all. We can just play Rob Lucci and do the thing. If we didn't draw into it, we could have just played Rebecca down and then play Spandam on board. But the thing is, if we play her, he bottom decks it for free. Which is not good. But I don't really mind all too much. She doesn't get as much value otherwise in this matchup. And he might just take the easy target here, so we'll see. I'll do the thing. This allows us to have 3 bodies on board instead of just playing Rob Lucci and passing. We'll just kick this and I guess a Sabo back to the deck. Then we can pass turn. You see, I think that was much better than just playing Lucci. Because he would just Gordon the Lucci anyway, or Max the Lucci. This way we at least have 3 bodies on board. I don't really plan on attacking with Rebecca, obviously, but you know, she's there to help out. I think I should have blocked that, to be fair. Raise you, yep, draws 2. So there goes Lucci. Lucci's gone. We have another one in hand, thankfully. So we have more removal for the following turn, depending on what he wants to do here. There's Penguin. Alright, so we can -2 with Stage, and then I could Ice Age Lucci to kill them both. I'll do this, just because we know he's going to remove it next turn. We're at 9 Dawn. We can actually do Gecko Moria here. Can't we? Yeah, we can do Gecko Moria here. That would get us quite a bit of bodies on board, actually. 1, 2, 4, 5 bodies, right? Because we get Rebecca, Spandam, Suru, and Lucci. Let's go ahead and do that. This might be risky if I decide to play him down. And it might seem like a dumb idea just to Ice Age a Penguin, but let's just do it. This allows us just to remove both at the same time, so. Okay, so both of these guys are a goner. If we go 5, doesn't really hurt us all too much here. Let's just do it this way instead. We can save the Gecko Moria for later. Just in case he has like 2 Gordons in hand or something and he's ready to just go for Rob Lucci. Ooh. This'll work. This way we can pop anything else he puts on board here as well. The 2k counter is probably relevant, but it's okay. We're not at 2 life. We don't really need all the counter right now in this matchup until we drop down to 2 with Kid Killer, so. And I think clearing board twice already sets Law way behind in this match, so. Next turn, if need be, we have Gecko Moria play with the Rebecca and Spandam. Actually, we won't, because he's probably going to bottom deck this. Now that I think about it. So perhaps it was better to do the Gecko Moria play last turn. Yeah, definitely was better to do Gecko Moria play last turn. Because there's Max. So I think if we would have done that, we would have been able to win, right? Because you can only remove 1 target this turn anyway. At least we would have had Gecko Moria and Leader Swing. And he would have had to contemplate on removing and playing blockers down. But it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. I think no matter what Lal does here, he's pretty much, it's pretty much a wrap. There's 6. That's fine. Take the 2k, which is pretty good. If only that was another Lucci, though. Interesting. Yep. So Gordon is getting, or sorry, Law is prepping to remove another card for the following turn as well. Otherwise, there's no reason to play Gordon down here. What do you play, though? Not what I thought. It's a decent board. He's starting to build it up over there. I'm assuming he played Mr. 2 to anticipate Gecko Moria, maybe. In which we have to remove him, so somehow, I don't know how we're going to be able to do this. Because we're at 10, and he already bottom decked 2 Luccis. So let's try to push some life here. There's a Gecko Moria in trash, -1 here. No Lucci. I need Lucci to be able to pop both of these. If we play down Khalifa, We have 4 Dawn left to play around with. We can go ahead and -2 on Reiju. But I'm still banking off Lucci here. Nice. Cool. We don't need this later. We can get rid of Sabo. We can get rid of Helmeppo. Have that for Gecko Moria later. We already have that -2. Put this -3. Lucci kills both. So we got value with 3 Luccis this game so far. Which Law has 4 cards left in hand. I think next turn we can go for games successfully. I'm still kicking myself for earlier, by the way, for not playing the Gecko Moria during that turn. But it is what it is. Queen. Okay, so we're gonna have to get around that somehow. We don't have Lucci in trash, obviously. Ace. Interesting. I like it. I like seeing Ace in this deck. It's pretty aggressive, but... yeah. 5 cards left. He'll put us down to 1 life if we end up taking this hit. Which is very risky. Come on, where's it at? I know you got one. They always do. Okay, I'm not what I thought, but okay. Alright, well, -2 here first. I think we have to attack with Lucci here, or draw into a Rob Lucci to pop both of these units here. Thankfully, Tempest Kick, kind of like Great Eruption, allows us to draw a free card, which is nice. We need to mill cards off deck as well. This is super risky, man. I guess we'll just go 5 and hope that we get one. I mean, the odds are pretty good that we can get a Rob Lucci off the top here. And we have the whole combination in trash ready to go. So one Lucci pops the whole board, and then we just go for game. Please. Every time. I feel like it never fails. You might as well block with Queen, because Queen's going to go. There's no reason not to block here. Well, we could just be bluffing Gecko Moria then, right? In that case. I would think he would block. It seems like the smart thing to do here. Okay, alright. We'll take those. Alright, Moria. Let's do your thing. Alright, so we'll get the Spandam back from trash with the Rebecca ability, then we'll play it down for free, as we normally would with Rebecca. Spandam can put 3 CPs back in deck and play Lucci and pop and go board. Hey, here's the matchup we don't see that often. You gotta love playing into Perona, man. Unfortunately for her, being able to rest Lucci and then popping it with Ryuma just really helps you out, because you're able to draw back into it from trash with Rebecca, Spandam, Gecko Moria to always have it ready to go. Unlike a Law matchup where he just bottom decks it, which is terrible because you don't have anything else to remove. So let's go 5, and we'll go 5 again with Spandam, because I know he'll get rested and killed next turn, so we might as well just do it. And then we can play Stage down on the following turn. Maybe, depending on what she plays here. Okay, Momo. Got Samurai off that. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. So she's gearing up to play Samurai next turn, which is fine. But we have to try to remove some of these pieces here, otherwise leaving them on board just constantly gives Perona value. And we don't have a lot to do it. I think all I can do here is... Okay, so I can Kaku. So we'll kill the Momo. We'll mill 2. The downside to this play is, as soon as I play Kaku, she's able to rest it due to Belmira being on board. So we should give it a -1, then rest it with Perona leader effect. And it's my only option, though, really. Bot deck this. Not bot deck. We'll kill this. But can she remove it though? Does she have Ryuma in hand? -1. Yep, goes to 6. Sure. I guess she can go 7 or 8 because the Belmera, I guess. Yep. So we get Lucci. There's Ryuma. Gets a 2k counter, and we'll clear board. Ryuma cannot pop me, considering I am active and not a rested unit, so... Boom and boom. The downside is she can just rest it, then play down another Ryuma to pop Lucci, but it kind of helps me out too, so... We'll take those trades. Ooh. Okay. Belmare, yep. Not bad. Speaking of Rebecca, let's go, boys. Well, -2 on Gecko Moria here. And we can Ice Age Gecko as well. We have enough Dawn to play Gecko Moria to be able to kill him. This will make him a 1, but then we can't kill Ryuma. So I think we have to do 2 on Ryuma, attack with Lucci, -1 to Gecko, and then play our own Gecko here in this scenario. So the only thing that's left on her board would be Belmare. No Becca and Trash. Unfortunately. So what do we take here then? I would think we take Lucci and spend him, I think, in this scenario. Because Helmeppo is just going to be useless in this match anyway. Because she's just going to kill it next turn anyhow. And actually, I think if we take another unit, right? They come rested. So Ryuma would just pop that, wouldn't he? That happens all at the same time. Which is nice, because this allows us to go back in the trash anyhow, so I'm not really losing anything in this regard. So she'll kill that. Yep. Cool. If it had been like any other unit, it's probably not worth it. Just to put back Helmeppo and Trash is okay. Considering we can just reuse him. Ice Age for what, though? Okay. Run Sabo as well. Love to see it. So how do we get around this, then? Sure. That's not what I needed. Can I get another Rob Lucci? No, I cannot. I think we can still kill this, though. With Rebecca. So let's go 5 here. Minus this. Put Gecko in Trash. That does suck. So that's a 5 cost right now. So I think we have to do a Tempest Kick. Which makes it a 2. And then I could play Brooke, or we can play Rebecca into Spandam to get Lucci back from Trash to kill both. Which is probably the better play in this scenario. The downside to it is she's a 4 cost, which can be rested by Peruna, so doesn't do all too much. But at least this way we can get 3 bodies on board and pop. Nice. Now we're ready to go for next turn. Let's play Borsellino here too. 1 Dawn left, which is kind of awkward, so I probably should have went 6k with Lucci, but it's alright. We have Tempest Kick for whatever she decides to play on board here. And we have Khalifa as well. -1 for that. Okay. Sure. As little as she knows, we still have removal for Sabo here. Another Tempest Kick. Let's go, boys. It's -2 first. So we're at 6 in Trash right now. So we go 7. We put 2 more in Trash. So that makes us 8. Sabo's a 5 cost. We have 8 in Trash. Okay. Alright, bear with me, bear with me. We're going to have to Tempest Kick into a Tempest Kick. We won't draw any cards off the first Tempest Kick because we have 8 in trash. But this will at least allow us to put it in trash, right? Cool. So we draw 1. We can't do the minus effect. We can do it again. Now we can do the minus effect and draw a card, considering we have 10 in trash. Play down Brook. Let's go ahead and pop it. See ya, buddy. Any other scenario, I think that was pretty good. Kind of just like Great Eruption. But I feel like Tempest Kick is just much better. There's Sabo. Alright, so my units should be safe this turn. Because otherwise, I would think she would play something else first and play Sabo down. She can rest the Borsalino here, then attack into it if she chooses to. Yeah, rest me first. Let's go. You got this. There you go. Alright, so 6 and... Oh, okay. We'll counter out. That is not what I expected. She can't Ryuma it, so... Okay, Borsalino. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I can't KO either of them. What do we do here? You know, let's just go face with everything. We'll go 8k with Borsalino. This way she's forced to lose both blockers or just lose game. We can do the same thing, go 8 with Brook. There's no reason to play Rebecca here. 11 in trash. I guess we can mill. The next turn we should be able to win game here. We don't have much counter in hand, unfortunately, but 7k here. We'll counter out. 8 Dawn. Sure. I think we're chilling, boys. Nice. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably do maybe 1 or 2 more games after this one, depending on how long these are. I didn't think the Perona match would be that long, but I guess we are playing both control decks, so they tend to run a little bit longer than I would like them. But we'll see what we can do here. Depending on what happens here, we'll go about 1 or 2 more games after this. Unfortunately, though, this matchup is very, very hard. Considering that he can just constantly keep kicking back, hitting killer on top of his life, or like Kikinojo or whatever, and I don't have options to remove it right away, you know? So I'm going to try to take this matchup slow, at the very least. I want to try to get Sabo's hand down as quickly as I possibly can, but I don't want to deal too much damage to life. I know that kind of sounds counterintuitive, but I'm going to try my best. So that's a Flaming Dragon King. So he knows what he comes up next on life, which is unfortunate. I don't really want to play Rob Lucci here, so we're just going to pass turn. I think playing Lucci is a mistake. I get it. Killing the Nami is wonderful, right? That's something that I want to do. But just Nami in this scenario? I don't know about that. Now watch, I might just bite me in the butt, but we'll see. He's open up with 5 Dawn. Oh, okay. Alright. You got it. And you know what? We'll kill the Nami with this. There you go. How do you feel? That's a little awkward, but we'll take those. It's probably a trigger, which is nice, right? So we can just go 5 and see what pops up, and then we can kill it with Kaku. I'll do the thing. Okay, never mind. We'll pass turn. I know that might have been a weird play, but he decided not to take it, which means it probably was a Kikinojo or something he needs me to be at 3 life for. We'll counter out here. I was about to say, you can't do anything with that, but alright. We'll just go 5. I think he would just take the ace in this scenario. It is going to protect him with 1. Or, sorry, it is going to protect him for 1 hit, but still. We're at 8 Dawn. Let's go 5 first. Okay, so we got the ace back in hand. So do remember that he has 1 dead card out of 5 currently. We'll take expand him just to draw cards. Oh, or not. Not draw anything. Never mind. We just miss. We'll take the 2K. Sometimes it sucks to suck, but what do you want me to do? We'll pass it over. We have all removal pieces in hand, so if he decides to flood board with any units on board, that's pretty good for us. So we know he's got an ace out of 6, right? At the very least. That top life, again, it must be like a Kikinojo, or something that requires me to be at 3 life for him to be able to play it on board. Otherwise, I would think he would have had taken the previous hit when I attacked him. Because remember, he stacked his own life with Dragon Claw. I don't really have a choice here. It's either block or I take the hit. So there's Kid and Killer. Got no choice this time around. That sucks. Alright, so we know what's coming down next, probably. Or not. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is where it begins. I can't kill his board, because he's going to constantly keep putting Kid and Killer back on top of life. But you know, I think this will benefit me more. Like, truthfully, I think it will. Because we go 7, right? He takes the Kid and Killer back. So we know 2 cards in the hand are duds. They have no counter to them. This will force a Kikinojo if it was Kiko. Come on. Alright. Maybe it wasn't. I guess we can just get down and Brook just cause. It's just another body on board. And I have all the removal pieces in hand with the Tempest Kicks and Lucci's. So, we'll just do it like this. And we'll pass the turn over. Putting 3 cards in the bottom of his deck really doesn't do all too much. And I can't do myself, which would be nice, but I can't. Putting Spandam in trash, you know. So that leads me to believe he has a Kikinojo. Perhaps. Maybe. He did hesitate on the trigger there. It might have been one. Kid and Killer, an ace in hand. So it's 3 cards with no counter that I don't have to worry about. Okay. 6 lead. 9 left. We'll give you a 2K. I was expecting like Katakuri or something, to be honest, but that's alright. I guess he could have done like Katakuri, put Katakuri on top with his leader ability or something like that. Or removed my Gecko Moria, put that on my life, and then put Katakuri on top. I don't know. Let's go 7 lead. I doubt he takes the hit. But maybe he'll play Kikinojo, we can just pop it with Rob Lucci. I know he heals a life in this scenario. Okay, never mind. Let's try it again. Just take it, man. Play it on board. Again, no play. Alright. 2 dead cards in hand, which is fine with me. Tempest Kick to draw 1. Alright, so we get a Spandine here, which is pretty good. We have to pop this, otherwise she's going to keep getting value with it. Not bad. Stage and Brook. Okay. I guess I should have went 8 though instead of 7, right? But it's fine. Kill this, we'll pass turn over. So potentially he's got either 2 to 4K counter in hand right now. This Kikinojo and the Ace are dead cards. What are you doing? Alright, you got it. The Sabo is playing a little bit weird to me, but it is what it is. Maybe it's because I decided not to pressure his life, therefore he couldn't get a lot of value with some of his cards that he needed to. Like the Kikinojos, the Aces. Maybe that's what's really going on here. Or sometimes you kind of gotta play outside the box, you know? I'll go 7. This will force him to put the Kikinojo on board or take the damage. So he had 2 2Ks in hand. The last card is Ace. So this is guaranteed. And now we just continuously control the game from here. Because I can go 5 with Spandam. And then I can go 9K with Gecko Moria. Or we can just pass turn. Let's play down Khalifa. We'll trash some Lucci's, because we have a lot of them. And play down Lucci anyway. Alright. Now we're cooking. So then he has one out here. He cannot swing with ace. If he plays on Kikinojo again, she just goes back to life. So he's only doing 10k or... Yeah, he's only doing 10k damage this turn. At the very least. Right, is that math? Yeah, because he has to have one Dawn attached to Kikinojo to put her on life. Sure. Okay, so that bounces back up. Now I want to see what the other card was in the hands. I think we have to go 7 here. At the very least. Just in case it was a 2k counter. If this goes through, cool. So it wasn't a 2k. Or, sorry, it had to have been a 2k or a 1k there, considering that attack went through. Let's force out the card. So it was another 2k counter. Now the issue is, if I swing in with all 3 of these, right, and he gets a trigger on board, we could potentially lose the game. Because that's a trigger, plus Sabo swing, and then plus ace in hand, right? We don't have very much counter to go in our hand, and I don't know whether or not that's going to be counter off our life, obviously. Oh, see? Alright, we'll stop. Nah, he got it, he got it, he got it. So that's 1 Kikinojo from trigger, 1 more Kikinojo in hand, and 1 ace. We might as well just pop it, just because that we can. He'll heal a life here, but we get rid of a card. And he loses a body on board. Yeah, I know. I get it. He heals a life. It's fine. We'll be alright. Yep, because this will push him back to 3. Therefore, ace doesn't have rush, which is nice. Considering her effect is mandatory, it's not one of those, if you may heal yourself, you have to heal. So this means he's going to play her back down, right? And kick her back to life. I assume he clears board here. Yep. Sure. Okay, so we get a Rebecca. Gecko's in trash, though, unfortunately. So that's 2 Gecko Mores that we've seen so far, which does kind of suck. Let's go 5. Let's spend him. Does he have the 1k? No, he does not. Cool. I mean, I guess it's still possible for him to have it. He just chose to take the hit. I guess this will let us know. Okay, so another 2k counter. So the rest of the cards in hand are dead cards. I just need to save enough Dawn to be able to play 1 blocker down. And then I think we're okay. I should have went 6k first with Lucci. That's my bad. Yeah, we can mill. Rebecca, stage, 1 life left. We'll push him to 0. And then next turn we go for game. Oh, okay. Alright. Excuse me. I guess we take a 2k counter here. And we'll play nothing. Which necessarily isn't a bad thing, but it's not worth it. Because we lose counter out of hands, right? Because I was going to say, for all we know, those last 2 cards could have been kidding killers, you know what I mean? That would have been detrimental. I assure you, this isn't how every Sabo plays the Sabo deck, but this is something that I put this man in this position where he has to play like this, because the cards that he took back, the Kikinojos, the Aces, the Kidding Killers, they all have no counter power. So I kept him away from 2 life, knowing that he had the ace in hand. Therefore, if he was at any higher than 2, he couldn't have a rush with the ace. So he couldn't swing with ace, then kick it back to life. And I think playing slow here was our best option. Because now we just win game here. No point in milling. Yep. Good try. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will probably be the last game for the day. I didn't expect some of these games to go as long as they have. Again, especially that Sabo match. But it is what it is. We're coming at you guys into another Perona as Rob Lucci today, so this should be a pretty good game. This is going to be probably another long one, so stay tuned. We'll see how it turns out. That is the ideal turn for most Perona decks right now in the format, especially with when you are playing with Samurai. There goes our stage, as usual. We'll just go 5 and 5 here, just because we know she's going to rest it and kill it, so... Alright, so ideally, there's a lot of things that Perona could do here, but I think she's probably going to do the Momo search, play something else down, hit Samurai. Yep, there's Momo search. 3 left. Unless they don't have Samurai in hand. Oh, okay, I guess they don't. Sure. Actually... Go 6 lead. We'll give you the 2K. It's not what I expected them to do, to be honest. Because in this scenario, we can just play Lucci and pop both now, so... Ain't my fault. Boom, boom, and boom. Now, if they didn't have Samurai... Alright, cool. But if they had Samurai, it was probably better just to play it. That way they can just draw 2 cards and go about the day. So now we get the rest. Where's the Ryuma? Or the Hiyori into the Ryuma. 7 lead. We'll take this hit. We didn't really have a choice anyway. Yep. So they draw 1 off that. Ryuma pops to Lucci. You know? 3, 5. We're at 7. Okay, cool. So we can do the Helmeppo into the Brook. And then swing 7k with lead. Which is pretty good. See? Brook's pretty strong, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's pretty good. That was awful. Got rid of Moria and another Brook. But it's okay. So they're up to, what, 9 Dawn? 5 into this. It's probably just better for me to guard out here. This will force them to play down their Gecko Moria or their Sabo or whatever they're running. Yep, okay. Well, that sucks. I didn't know if it was a bluff or they actually had it. It is what it is. Brook dies here. And now we need to clear boards some way. So they have a ridiculous amount of cards in hand at 2 life. We got Lucci. We don't have stage, so that's kind of awkward. But we can do Tempest on Moria. And then we've got to swing with Lucci, go lead. -1 on Ryuma, right? Because then we can play Sabo down next, and then we can pop both. Which is fine. And then hopefully she doesn't have a way to deal with the Sabo on the following turn. So I tell you guys, man, Sabo is really good in this deck. If not better than Isho, both are really good. But, you know, each their own. Choose your poison. Rest that. Okay, so Helmeppo goes bye-bye. Thank you. I'd appreciate it. Yo, being able to play Moria with Helmeppo, like, constantly, is just so good. It really is. It's just really, really good. Okay, so I get to live this turn, which is nice. Yep. Sure. Okay, so they got a 2k counter in Izo, which is nice. Please don't have Samurai. Got a Hiyori. Just pass the turn. You don't have it. Darn. Alright, boys. Uphill battle. We can hit this on Moria. We draw into another Moria. How do we do this? I don't think we have enough removal to do it, though, actually. Go 6. Bring this down to a 4. We've got Rebecca in trash with Spandam with Helmeppo. So perhaps we actually pop the Gecko Moria and a Otama. There he is. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. We're chilling. And all this was possible because she decided to pop the Helmeppo. Just kick these back to the deck. Get Lucci on board. Do the thing. Oh, I guess never mind. We had another Helmeppo in trash, so we were chilling anyway. If we go 9k here, I don't think 9 into the Otama is worth it. I think we have to go life. This way she's forced to give me the Borsellino. Just give me the Borsellino. Okay. I'll take that. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. At this point, I think Perona is probably running out of steam. Maybe. I mean, sure. As much as I wanted to give the 2k counter, she just attacked into it with the other Otama, so... Six into that. This we will guard. I don't think she'll run Borsellino into it. And I think she needs the rest of the Dawn to play down Gecko Moria, Sabo, or Stussy if she runs that as well. Ice Age. Okay. Popping Lucci and Sabo here. With another search and a Ryuma. Get Samurai. I think we're chilling here, boys. The 2k is probably more valuable here. Lucci, I don't have the removal for it. But, what we can do... I can Spandam again. With Gecko Moria play. With Rebecca. We're not popping Borsellino, we're not popping the Gecko Moria in this scenario. We would be popping the Ryuma and the Otama, at the very least. So let's run the Helmeppo into the other Otama after we do a -1 to the Ryuma. Hopefully this gets a 2k out of hand. Alright, she guards out. She's definitely protecting, yep. Sorry about the dog downstairs deciding to bark. I apologize. Alright, let's go ahead and go 9k lead. Let's do this. And then we'll go 3k with Helmeppo into the Otama. And we can try to clear the Borsellino. I mean, that could be a play. But perhaps we can also push for game here. Let's clear this first. Yep. I think she'd guard out for the Borsellino again, though. I really would. I think she would. I think she would take the damage here, too. This might have been one of those moments where it was probably better to just stack Dawn on Helmeppo and go lead. And maybe she doesn't have enough counter in hand. Sometimes Perona can just gain a lot of cards with Samurai, and a lot of them be duds or no counter, you know what I mean? Or 1Ks. You see what I'm saying? I probably should have won game. But it's okay. We'll get down Gecko Moria here. We can pop the Ryuma and the 1-cost Otamas. We can pop that. Yes, I'm aware we have no choice, really. He's going to pop either Lucci, Rebecca, or Helmeppo in this play. Or he's going to pop the other Lucci. But we have to get him off the board. I guess not necessarily, because we aren't really, like... We're still at 4 life, but still. Pop this, and pop that. Alright. Now we're cooking. Unless they have removal for both Gecko Morias here and a blocker. So unless they have enough for all of that and a blocker, they'll lose the game. So I think they would need... They could stall it out, I guess, if they run Rebecca, but I don't think they do. With like something like a Sabo and Rebecca or a Sabo and Borsalino here. Goes 6 into Lucci, I assume. Yep. I think we should let this go. Because I'd imagine they're going to run Gecko Moria into our Gecko Morias. We have 1 2k counter. Because I think here, like I said, they need to play some form of removal. Yep. Borsalino, okay. Altama. So Rebecca will be safe here. I don't think they'd run Gecko Moria into Rebecca. Cool. We'll counter out. And now we have to get through 2 blockers. With not much cards in hand. Or not many cards in hand. Can we do it? This may be a silly play, but Rebecca has no value here, right? She's going to get rested. And I think this would probably be the turn that we have to try to go for game. So let's go 7k. Or sorry. Let's go 8k with Rebecca. No, 7k with Rebecca. Let's do 7. This way they have to either give me 3k counter in hand or block with Borsalino and a 1k or a 2k counter. We have 8k with lead and 2 9s with Gecko Moria. So unless they counter out here... Oh, okay. Alright. Can we get there, boys? Do you have enough? One more? Okay, so we at least get both Borsalinos out of the way, right? Both of them are gone. Yep. Nice. Okay. So we're at 4 life. We're not really in any danger of losing the game right now. They can technically clear both Gecko Morias. But if they decide to clear both Gecko Morias without putting blockers down, you know what I mean? They need some form of blockers here to at least survive one more turn. We'll drop the 2k for this one. This way they only get 1 Gecko Moria out of this. Unless they go 9 with Perona into the other one, then drop Sabo. Yamato. Sabo. Interesting. Okay. Both non-counter cards. I think we have game here. Yeah, they only have 1 blocker up, so... I think I would have done the 9k into Gecko Moria with Perona, then dropped Sabo. I think that's how I would have taken this match here. I guess they wouldn't have Yamato on board here, and they would only have Sabo, double Gecko, and leader swing, which is 4 damage. But I think we would have won either way here. I don't know why I decided to go 12k. It'd be what it'd be. Good game, buddy. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video. Appreciate everyone who decided to stick around. This was a lot of fun. I normally don't enjoy playing black decks here on the channel, let alone at locals, but Rob Lucci has a ridiculous amount of combinations that he can come up with when it comes to putting bodies on board. I understand, you know, playing down Gecko Moria into Rebecca, Rob Lucci. We've seen this package before in Sakazuki. I get it. But it's a whole new unit. We're playing with Rob Lucci, who's a lot cooler than Sakazuki overall. And I'm having fun with this one, surprisingly enough. Saka, I didn't really care too much for. But I think with the new cards that we get access to with the CP9 engine, we play around with the 8-cost Sabos and stuff. It's a lot of fun. As much flack as this deck actually gets for being overpowered or too strong, it really is a lot of fun. And I still don't think he is on the level of I think this deck wishes he was Sakazuki, but he's not. I also think you know, RP Law is a little bit more prevalent in the metagame, especially overseas. And over here, it's still pretty strong, but I still think Rob Lucci is a lot of fun. I think you guys should pick him up and give him a shot. Let me know what you think about him. Let me know what you're running here when it comes to ratios, because everybody's deck, I think, is a little bit different with him, especially with what you can put in it, what you don't have to run. Ratios are going to vary depending on your local scene, your regional events, and all that sort of thing. Currently, I'm enjoying this one quite a bit. I do think, though, we have a lot of NL players out here locally. I'm tempted on taking out Sabo and just running Isho for the time being, because that helps in a lot of matchups, not only in NL but in Bonnie as well. But overall, this has been my list. This is what I've been cooking up here when it comes to Lucci. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Remember, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for your content when it comes to One Piece. And hop in the Discord. Come tell me I suck. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.